What is deaf? Deafness isn't just about someone's ears. Deaf people are a unique linguistic minority in America. They have their own school experiences, social activities, folklore, behaviors, and values. Culturally deaf people treasure their visual language, American Sign Language, ASL, and have values revolving around their visual way of life.
Deaf people differ from the hearing majority in many aspects. The dominant cultural pattern in the United States is that of individualism, while deaf culture values collectivism. They view themselves as members of a close, interconnected group with their own traditions and events for social interaction.
What does this mean for people who aren't deaf? Deaf culture has a lot to offer the hearing world. This concept of profiting from the deaf perspective is referred to as deaf gain. This phrase has three ways of being expressed in ASL: deaf increase, deaf benefit, and deaf contribute, and was created to counteract the stigma of the term hearing loss. One example of a deaf gain is the potential of deaf architecture to benefit and impact the hearing world. Deaf space is a recent development that works to create deaf-friendly and therefore visually friendly spaces. Deaf space meets the needs of the deaf, but it can benefit larger society as well. The foundations of deaf space start with the use of visual language. For ASL, eye contact is crucial for conversation, so environments should be designed to allow people to face their friend while walking and chatting. Paths shouldn't have obstructive objects that cause hazards or force people to step into the street to get a wide enough view of the signer.
Further, the architecture itself should act as a safeguard, helping people to orient themselves and to allow for easy movement through halls and spaces. For example, ramps rather than stairs make it easier to carry on a signed conversation while climbing. The environment can provide subtle or obvious clues to aid navigation. The design element of rounded turns, for example, would prevent collisions that can occur at hallway corners. The deaf certainly appreciate this because they can't hear other footsteps coming, but most hearing people have also experienced bumping into someone when rounding a corner. We would all be better off with rounded turns in hallways.
Also reflecting visual nature, windows, lighting, and glare prevention are essential elements of deaf space so that people can see one another. Eye contact and facial expression are integral to ASL, so bright and diffuse lighting ensures that people can see one another well. The hearing world should aim for this goal too, to be able to see the expressions of others in conversation.
Also, to make sure that people can see one another, all rooms, tables, and seating areas in deaf spaces should allow people to come together in an arc or circle formation. This makes eye contact in large group conversations easy and also encourages people to sit and be social. Everyone can be included in the conversation and no one is left out on the end.
It works great in classrooms, where class discussions take place effortlessly. No one has to strain their neck to see the speaker. It also works great just lounging, hanging out, or eating. When we sit at rectangular tables, we are limited to speaking to those directly next to or across from us. Round tables allow everyone to take part in the dialogue.
These new ideas of design can help everyone engage in more meaningful interactions and conversations. Just because we can hear someone's voice doesn't mean that seeing their face is devoid of value. Deaf space also offers us the benefit of easier navigation. Hazards, corners, harsh lighting, and hidden narrow stairwells aren't conducive to our movement through or interaction with the world. We can look toward the deaf for learning how to make our environments more friendly and conversation facilitating to all. Perhaps we can even shift our individualistic attitudes toward a more collectivist way of life.